Hello everyone and welcome to the GameSlushy podcast. This is myself, Alan Stowe speaking, and together with my co-host, Charlie Nunes. Charlie, are you there?
Hello, Internet.
Hello. This week we're going to be going over a few little games that we played. I know, for example, Charlie, you kicked off this week with Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Arkham City on the PlayStation 3. So tell me what you thought of that.
The game was really good. The story was solid, even though I thought it was a little bit short. Or maybe it wasn't even that short. It just took me by surprise that I wasn't expecting the ending where it ended.
Yeah.
The combat is still fucking good. It's still the same combat system as the first game, but they added some new moves, and some of these moves are quite awesome. You know, it's easier to integrate gadgets now into the fight.
Yeah, where before it was like you had to constantly change to your gadgets and make position to change and then use your gadget, for example.
Yeah. Well, we could still use the batarang in the middle of the fight, but now you can use the gel, you can use everything. Even some grenades, ice grenades that you get later from Mr. Freeze.
So you can set up traps and stuff?
Yeah, basically. You can be kicking a guy one moment, and in the next second you're putting, really fast a little bit of gel on the floor, and then you can, just detonate it whenever you want.
Awesome.
The part that I liked the most was, again, the stealth combat, which was just as good as in the previous game, but it still relies too much on the detective mode, and the detective mode, makes the world, filters the world with this, blue color and highlights the enemies.
Is there actually a lot of use of the detective mode? Now, I found that a bit of a problem in the last one.
Oh yeah, it's still basically the same thing. The only reason why you really turn off the detective mode is to check up your waypoint. Because when you have your detective mode on, you cannot see your waypoint. So you have to, turn it off to reorient yourself in the direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
But
I think
aside from that, there's really no reason to turn it off unless you want to miss shit.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a flaw, because the game is beautifully designed. I don't see why they would put in so much detective time that you're forced to use the...
Yeah. Like I mentioned in my review, they could have used another way to highlight the characters, because the stealth combat is very hard to play without, the detective mode. It's a tool that's indispensable for the stealth combat, for you to see where all your enemies are, because there's so many, and they can be like, one can be in a corridor, one can be in the room next to you. So if you have it off, you cannot see it. You cannot see them.
Yeah.
So you have to have it on, but it's really annoying because that's the best part of the game. For me, it's the stealth combat.
Yeah.
But you have to have the detective mode on, and they could have done something like Left 4 Dead. You and me already played Left 4 Dead multiplayer together.
When they have as the zombies, when you play as the zombies.
Yeah, you can see exactly. They highlight the survivors.
The enemies through the walls and stuff with a little outline.
And it works just fine. And they could have done something similar with Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's something they can improve. Maybe if they make another one.
And while the game is good, I don't know what the fuck they were smoking at Rocksteady. Just making a game sandbox style, open world, doesn't make it better if you don't know what to do with that space. And basically their answer to that is, let's fill the whole fucking thing with Ridware trophies.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure they were smoking some really, really bad shit, at the end of their shifts, or in the beginning, actually. So
Riddler trophies, God.
Yeah, it just makes you grind and grind and grind to be able to get to the good parts in the and the Riddler trophies. You don't need to do them for the story. But after the story is complete, there's some extra stuff that you can complete, with that shot and some other stuff that I'm not going to mention here because of spoilers. But basically, there's these people you need to save from the Riddler.
Yeah.
And the only way you can unlock each person to save is by collecting trophies. So you collect a few trophies, you unlock the possibility to save one of the hostages from the Riddler. And you keep grinding and grinding and grinding till you collect enough trophies to get to the last one.
All right.
And most of these trophies, they're basically just, it requires half a brain cell and a gadget, basically. That's all it requires.
Yeah, no, that's a bit sad. It's a bit sad.
Yeah. The Riddler riddles, the actual riddles, they're still fun, Like in the first game, the thing that I liked a lot about the Riddler was the Riddler riddles, the actual riddles, but the trophies, they just feel like a grind. It's just a grind. That you don't feel smart, and you don't feel. It's not gratifying to complete one of those. You just feel like your time was wasted. That's just,
yeah, I see.
The thing that disappoints me the most is that Rocksteady made this big fuss about all these characters, right?
Yeah.
Two-Face, Penguin, Catwoman, and they're barely in the game. I mean, Catwoman, you can play as her, but her story bits are not very big. It's just a few story bits. It's not a big part of the game.
That's disappointing now when you say her story bits are not too big.
No, they're very small, and basically you just the only reason that you really get to get back at playing her, even though her gameplay is actually very fun and different than Batman, even though the combat system is the same, the only reason you really have to go back to playing as her is to collect Riddler trophies that only she can get and Batman can't. So here's the Riddler trophies again, and it just makes you backtrack even more. You have to backtrack as Batman, and you have to backtrack as
Catwoman. Yeah. Now, it doesn't sound that appealing, but at the same time, everything else about it is meant to be amazing. I'm still looking forward to it. It's not out on the PC yet for another 2 weeks from now. 3.
Yeah. What day is today? The 1st?
Yeah. 1st, yeah.
Yeah, in 15 days you're going to be able to sink your claws into it.
Yeah, so I'll have to give it a go and just play with, Catwoman's bits.
It's probably going to look awesome on the PC as well. And the game looks awesome, by the way. It's just, from beginning to end, there's no doubt.
It's beautifully designed. You can see that in some of the images anyway. So.
And there's no doubt that it's Batman's world. It feels like Gotham. It feels like, lets you reminisce to, the Batman cartoons, even though, it doesn't look cartoony. The way the city feels, it makes you think of, the Tim Burton and the animated series in the 90s. Yeah. Kind of gives you that dark, because the Christopher Nolan movies, Gotham is quite bright on that one. Because obviously they shoot the movie during the day as well, not only during the night. But if you go watch the Tim Burton movies, Gotham is always dark, even during the day. And I think, since the whole game takes place at night, there's no daytime in the game.
Yeah, I've noticed that actually quite a bit with those old movies as well. Everything is dark. It's always dark.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Gotham City? Does it not have a sun or something?
Maybe it's all that fucking smog.
Yeah.
But I like that about the Tim Burton movies, actually. The way it looks so dark.
Yeah.
I like.
But at the same time, if it was all sunny and bright, you'd kind of just expect Superman to fly in and own a few people.
Yeah, because Superman is on the same universe, actually.
Yeah, he is.
I guess Gotham is like the direct opposite of Metropolis. Metropolis is very colorful, very bright, and the architecture is very slick and modern. While in Gotham is more the opposite. It's dark, gritty, and the architecture is very, everything looks old. All the buildings look old.
Yeah, so it has that kind of sense to it. But that's where Batman comes in. He's the savior in the darkness type of thing.
Yeah.
He just happens to be the rich puppy out of all these poor fuckers. It's like, what the... Anyway, I'm going to move on because I want to grab your attention to this, and I'm sure you've seen it. What are you thinking about Blizzard's latest expansion?
The panda thing.
The Pandaran.
Is it Pandaran?
I don't know whether it's the Pandaran,
I
whatever.
always said Pandaran.
It's either genius or just hilarity. I don't know what they're doing.
I think Blizzard is genius. I think they knew the game was going to start dying out after 5 or 6 years. I think they knew people would start getting burned out and lose interest. And that's where they bring the fucking pandas in.
Take the pandas in.
Because if BioWare has fucking Jedi, we have fucking pandas that can do Kung Fu.
Kung Fu, yeah.
Beat that.
It probably will work. I really love, alright, they originally came up with the Pandaran type thing, yeah? The Pandaran.
No, that's been in the game, in the World of on the Warcraft universe ever since Warcraft 3.
Yeah, that's right.
They were in Warcraft 3. They've just been saving them until now.
Still, looks awesome. I believe they're even removing talents and everything, new talent calculators and stuff.
And this is just how genius Blizzard is. And now they offer you Diablo 3 for free if you sign up for a year of WoW. Yeah,
I noticed that as well. That's a real case of, oh, you're going to join us for a year and we'll give you Diablo free. That's a good deal. Don't go with Star Wars or anything else. Stay with us for a year.
And it's genius because of the avalanche effect that it has. One person can have an avalanche effect on this. Imagine the following. You don't give a fuck about WoW, right? Right now, you couldn't give a fuck about WoW.
I played it for so long that I'm sick to death of it, yes.
Imagine that you really feel compelled to take this deal. After all, 1 year subscription is like, what? How much?
Normally at about 12, 13 euro a month, so, yeah.
And you're like thinking, I'm going to buy Diablo 2 anyway, so why not take this deal? So then, the person that was completely uninterested in WoW, or a little bit on the fence on going back or not, he takes this deal to get Diablo 3 for kind of like free.
Yeah.
And then he starts playing WoW again. And when he starts playing WoW again, what happens? He wants his friends to join in. He starts messaging
all
them
of his friends that were originally on there. Yeah, I see. Come back to WoW, guys.
Yeah, this happened to me recently. A few friends of mine went back to WoW. It started with one fucking cunt. One guy went back to WoW and it dragged 5 fucking people. And now I have 3 of these 5 fucking people on MSN saying, come back to WoW, we could use a tank.
Yeah, come back, we need you.
Yeah.
No, fuck off. I'm sick to death of that game. I don't care about pandas or... Yeah. Sure. There's still a lot of people that really enjoy the game, and I have to give them credit. It's probably the best MMO I have ever played in my entire life.
It is the best MMO. It's the best polished one, and
it's the most polished, and it set such a high standard for every other game.
Oh yeah.
That the competition out there is just being crushed a lot of the time.
You
have all the people that are WoW fans, crushing the competition on top of things. It's like, how can you win?
Do you think BioWare's Knights of the Old Republic is going to topple WoW as the king?
I don't know. I'm very 50-50 on it. I mean, there's a lot to say yes. There is a lot to say yes. WoW has had its run. It is running out of things to do at the moment. So unless they make some radical changes to the game, even though the Cataclysm and all that was a nice change, and I played it for about 6 months, but to bring in a whole new MMO with this whole story play system and companion system and space travel system and all these things, all next generation stuff, is going to be tough competition to keep against, I'd say. It'll come down to how well BioWare execute it. If they do it well, and the game is actually brilliant, and everything they say works, then yes, it will absolutely destroy WoW, I'd say. There'll be a lot of people moving.
The feedback that I seem to be witnessing is that the closer they make it to WoW, the more people get away from it. Because initially, the people that were interested in the game were assuming that it was going to be different from WoW. But now every single video that gets released just looks like it's World of Warcraft with a Jedi coat of paint.
You see, I'm not looking that side. I mean, graphically, yes, it does look like WoW. Graphically. But gameplay-wise is very, very different. I mean...
How come we can look at the same thing and see 2 different things? I think exactly the opposite. I think graphically it looks different, but gameplay it looks exactly the same.
Oh no, I don't. I think it's the graphics that are probably confusing people in that regards, because every quest is spoken, every story is told through cutscenes and voice, and I want that. I actually
every quest is voice acted?
Every quest is voice acted.
You're absolutely 100% sure on this?
Yeah, it's BioWare. That's what they spent all of this time doing. There's over, so far I think there's over 2,000 hours of voice recordings.
2,000 hours?
2,000 hours, yeah.
Sounds little for an MMO.
In the long run, yes it is. It'll depend on how well they can keep up on expansions and things like that. But for now, it's a good, you still get a good, 2,000 hours is, oh god, I don't even know how many months that is. But off the top of my head. But it's long enough to set kind of standard, I'd say. Set a pace to say, this is us, this is what we are, this is what we have to offer. You enjoy it or not. And I think that'll be enough.
I think people already know what BioWare has to offer if they played, Mass Effect and they can craft a world and they can craft a story. I think people already know, they already have the reputation of doing these things right. The only question is here, can they make a MMO that can grab you, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think they made an MMO in the past which failed.
Did it?
I can't remember what on. Yeah, they did. I think it was Champions Online or something.
No, that wasn't them.
There was something, BioWare MMO. I'm not actually sure off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there was one, and it didn't actually go very, very far.
I would wager you're confused, because I think they only done, single-player RPGs until now.
I could also be thinking Warhammer Online as well. Wasn't that was EA, was it?
Warhammer Online, I'm not sure.
That was EA who made that. Mythic Entertainment. BioWare Mythic.
Oh, was BioWare that?
Yeah, in August 2009, EA, Mythic.
Okay, Mythic is not...
So they did. They came out with Warhammer, and that's the one I'm probably putting the link to, because I could have sworn I heard something about it, but, that one didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Warhammer was a bit of a flop, but at least I hope it gave them enough experience to throw this MMO
Which
up ahead.
was surprising, because I remember we were playing WoW when Warhammer came out, and a lot of people we knew left WoW for like 6 months or something to play that, and then they came back. Yeah. I was expecting it, to...
The kind of same. But that's the thing. I think that this is just a problem with time. I came back to this game 6 or 7 times over the course of the 6 years or so that I played it consistently.
Yeah.
I left it for a few months, then came back. Left it again for a few months, then came back. It's just that game, and it gets dragged in because of the social aspect of it. But yeah, I finally quit now. I have pushed my WoW addiction aside for now. I think 6 months now I'm pushing.
The thing that happened to me was that I started noticing myself logging in less and less and spending less time online, to the time where I reached the point where it was like, why am I paying a fee to play 2 hours a day?
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what happens after a long time. So.
That's how cheap I am. 2 hours a day does, 10 euros a month is not worth 2 hours a game.
Even though technically it is. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, we'll move on. What other games we got that have hit this week?
It was the Halloween thing, on the PSN and on Steam.
Yeah?
Yeah, and Sucker Punch released Infamous Festival of Blood as a standalone title, and it was really, really disappointing. The story was, on this case, it's really, really, really short.
Yeah.
There's almost no story there. There's just like an introduction to the character, to the vampire character that turns you into a vampire, and then they don't even flesh this character out. They just, I don't know. She bites you, and 2 hours later, she's dead. And then you're left with nothing to do. And I literally completed all the achievements, did all the content that I needed to do in less than fucking 8 hours.
No, that's a bit disappointing. How much did it cost, even if it was on sale?
Oh, it was on sale for €9. And I tell you something, this is just highway robbery. I mean, the game looks beautiful. Yeah, it's like, it looks exactly like Infamous 2. Basically, what it did was take half of the map of the engine and half of the map of Infamous 2. Infamous 2 takes place in 2 islands.
Okay.
They took the
I've not played it, so yeah.
The thing that they did is they took the first island, copy-pasted it into this game, put some fucking, Halloween decorations up, and they called it Pyre Night. Where people go to the streets and dance like crazy and are, in costume, and they set pyres all over the city. So they basically copy-paste that island. It's exactly the same fucking island. So no work was done there except, just add some extra decoration. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. And it's basically Infamous 2 without all the shit that makes Infamous 2 great.
Right, yeah, no. Alright, so yeah, it was a flop in other words.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I see people giving this, 100% or a 10 out of 10, and I'm like, why?
It was terrible. What are you doing?
I mean, the gameplay is good, but, even you start out with some basic powers that you have in Infamous 2.
Yeah.
And immediately when you get bitten by and start turning into a vampire, you get these cool powers, and you think, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. It's going to it's going to be Infamous 2, but with cool fucking vampire powers. Because the first few powers are okay. You have the, biting people power.
Yeah. Which
basically just fuels your blood meter, and then you have this ability to turn into, dozens of small bats and fly around the city, but that consumes blood, and then for that you have to either kill other vampires or drink blood from innocent people. And you think when you see that ability of Cole transforming into so many little bats and flying around, and you start thinking, oh my god, this is going to be awesome. It's going to have all these cool vampire powers that I'm going to unlock, right? Yeah. And the only vampire power that you unlock after that is the ability to have vampire vision, which just allows you to detect hidden vampires in the crowd or hidden glyphs, which is basically just something that you grind.
Yeah, it's a cover, yeah.
And aside from that, no other fucking vampire powers. They could have done really cool vampire shit, but they didn't. They could have had a really cool vampire story here, but they didn't. It was
even
just
speed, power, just all of that.
Charging €9 for a standalone product like this that you can beat in 2 hours and literally complete after 9 hours, and
that's not an actual expansion or something.
Yeah, and the thing is, when the game was announced, it was announced Infamous 2 Festival of Blood. It was announced as DLC for Infamous 2.
Yeah.
But some fucking greedy cunt at some point decided, you know what? We can just sell this as a standalone and people will buy it and make a ton shit of money.
Yeah. Oh, sure, it happens. It happens a lot. I've seen it in loads of games. It's a bit disappointing to see people are still doing that. Especially when it comes to, holidays like Halloween,
and I guess,
where you look forward.
I guess as a standalone title at €9, it doesn't... especially with the stuff that you can find on the PSN that gives you a lot of more playtime.
But that's it. I mean, games for that price usually go into the indie category, and it's people trying to get themselves known. When you expect a top-notch developer to come out and then throw this thing at you, it's just going to fall over.
Yeah, but still, Trine is €9 as well, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, but Trine is still also by an indie developer.
Yeah, but this game was supposed to be a DLC thing, and if it was a DLC thing, no way they would have charged €9 for that.
Yeah,
and no way would the game require 4 fucking gigabytes of your hard drive to install.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, it seems a bit harsh, alright.
Yeah. But some fucking cunt decided that, if we sell this as a standalone, then people without Infamous 2 are still going to buy it, because it's, Halloween.
Yeah.
And we're going to make more money this way. Fuck the customers' hard drives and fuck their money. We're just going to sell it for €9. Actually, it's not fuck their money, it's give me their money.
Give me their money,
yeah. So,
but at the same time, I'd be a lot more different if it was a case that they were charging €40 instead of a tenner for this thing.
Well, if they charged €40 for this game, I would never buy any product by them again.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
This is not even the game. It's DLC sold as a standalone game.
Yeah, I see.
It's despicable. Yeah.
Okay. I get it. So note to people out there, be cautious when buying Infamous.
Don't buy it unless you're either a big Infamous fan and you must have it, or you really, really dig vampire shit.
Yeah.
and you really like playing Infamous and you want some extra vampire powers. Anyway, I'm getting too irritated. Let's fucking move on.
Yeah, fair enough. As much as I'd like to say I have any comments on it, I haven't played it at all, or Infamous, so I can't really speak on it. Well, we shall move on.
Yeah.
I have been getting a bit of catch-up, so to speak, this weekend. There was a couple of them I did. Alpha Protocol was one.
I heard that game was shit, but I want to hear your opinion.
I am standing by 100% that the game is shit. I've put quite literally 60 minutes into it, 62, and I just can't seem to bring myself. I fell over laughing when he crouched.
Crouched?
Yeah, just crouch moving. Across the screen.
Does he crouch? Does he crouches like he's been having anal all night or something?
Yeah, more or less. He looks like a bad version of John Wayne after riding his horse for 36 hours straight. And in general, the combat is terrible. The AI is really bad, and it's buggy. It's so buggy. I tried to exit the game a couple of times, and what it brought me to was a black screen with the full model of the character just spinning around. You could just run in dead space.
Oh my
and
God.
it wouldn't actually close the game. There's a lot of problems with it there. I can see why it definitely think, but I picked it up for €2 just to try it. Whether or not I'll complete it now is another story.
So even though the fact that the game has been out so long, they still haven't bothered to fix all these problems.
They haven't patched it or fixed up issues with this game at all. No, but
what's the developer on that?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah.
Aren't they quite shitty? Can you click on Obsidian and see what they've done?
Yeah, I can.
Aren't they the ones that made? Wait, I don't want to say.
They made the Dungeon Seas. They actually did Fallout.
Yeah, they have a history of buggy games. The new Fallout, the Fallout New Vegas was riddled with bugs as well.
But yeah, in general, I just think maybe then guys hunt down some good testers and get those games running. But no issue there. Second game I tried this week and kicked off was one you yourself specifically recommended I should get my hands on. It was Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I have played up to 9 hours so far, and I am not bored of this game whatsoever. It is absolutely brilliant. It's great fun so far. I love the animation. I love the
you
story.
You like the aesthetics of the game as well, right?
The aesthetics, everything about it. Yeah, it's really different. But my biggest issue with it is you just can't play it single player.
No, single player is such a bore.
And it's not, I don't see it being promoted directly as a co-op game, but it really, really should be primarily a co-op.
But now you see what I mean when I say, that FPS mixed with MMO makes actually for interesting gameplay.
It does, yeah, definitely.
Because it's kind of like MMO-ish gameplay that you can find in Borderlands.
When it does work. Now, that being said, I am currently also playing Global Agenda. It's free at the moment. It's an online MMO.
Yeah.
And it's a first-person shooter MMO.
Okay.
Now, my first impressions of this game, now I've played it for about 5 hours. I'm up to about level 12 or something, and I'm really not impressed. I'm not impressed at all with this game. It's okay, yeah. It's nicely designed. It's quite pretty. There's some good graphics,
Yeah.
The levels are very well detailed and laid out, but the character evolution is terrible.
How so?
The items in the game are all at a static DPS, more or less. And you have a certain amount of talent points, and all the talent points do is give you like 5% or 10% additional damage.
Okay.
Now, so even with the most best epic in the game, you're still only gaining about 10% additional damage.
I guess that's that's because you're playing the free-to-play mode, because if you buy something, then you get more, right?
No, it's how they designed it to try keep it as balanced as possible. It's primarily a PvP MMO.
Oh, okay.
So what you're doing is you're spending a lot of time going into PvP battles and stuff like that.
But what do you get if you actually pay for something? What can you actually purchase?
When you purchase the thing, it's the difference between getting rewards. You do instances in the game. With the free-to-play, when you complete the instances, you get the XP and you get your money. With the purchase of the game, you get XP money and your green item or something, a random green item or blue item.
So it's just a few stuff extra.
But yeah, the biggest, like I said, when it comes to MMOs, you kind of want character progression. You want to build a character up to make them feel more powerful to the point where you're at max level and you're owning everything, or you're fighting for your life against other people who are owning everything. This isn't the case in this game at all.
Bad game design, and then.
It's probably why it's failed quite a bit, and that's why it's free to play. I think any MMO that's become free to play after originally being charged is them saying, hands up, hold on, we're not actually making anything here. Why not? But the issue with that definitely has to be the character evolution. What else can I say about it so far? The PvP is fun.
You've always been the PvP kind of guy.
Yeah, the PvP is fun, but there's a distinct lack of abilities. At the moment, I'm playing as a recon, which is a rogue type character.
Yeah.
And I run around with a sniper rifle and a big machete. Why not? And I can stealth run around characters, but that's pretty much it. That is all I can do. The level of detail in the PvP is very, very limited. Now, you have your jet boosters, you can jump around and stuff like that, but I have a feeling it's one of those games that I put in a few hours, and I might put in a few more hours, but I'm not going to be able to enjoy it after a certain hour point, and it's just going to become very, very boring very fast, because I'm not seeing any progression in my skills or my abilities. I don't see new abilities. All I see is new weapons that can come out, but it's not enough. It's not enough for an MMO. You know what's the FPS that never gets old?
What? Team Fortress 2.
That's true. But that's directed as an FPS alone.
But it's free to play right now.
It's not an MMO. Yeah, but
it's not. I know. I just reminded of it because it started getting free to play as well.
Because you remember, even in this, you're still grinding your levels.
Yeah. But
you still go to PvE content to grind. You don't do that in Team Fortress.
No, but I thought about, because in my mind, you were talking about free-to-play games. And Global Agenda, even though it's an MMO, it's also a shooter. Mm-hmm. And Team Fortress is a shooter that's free-to-play as well. So it's they are comparable, to be honest. But
even so, and when I look at that, Team Fortress as well, for me, can get very, very boring after a while. I can only play Team Fortress for so many hours, but the difference between Team Fortress and this is when this came out to pay to play. Team Fortress, when it was out, or as it is out, I know I can put down and forget about for a while, and then come back and still have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With this, I'm not so sure, because you're going to have to spend so much time grinding to your max level that you'll be just sick of the game. You'll treat it like WoW after playing it for forever.
Okay, I'm going to give you one of those Charlie gems for you and for our readers. If a game isn't that fun, and if you're even have the slightest doubt that you're going to have fun with it in the future, just drop it, because life is too fucking short. Go play something that you like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I will continue to play this because I have a few friends who are playing it at the moment, and that's what makes the PvP fun in it. But whether or not I'll stick to it is.
But you were playing recently Section 8, and you said you loved it.
I did, but that hit the same problem once again, and everyone left it. There's just too little progression, too little things to keep you there. It's like, all right, you can play these maps, you can do it over and over and over again, and after a while, it's just going to get very, very repetitive. Now, what they did, I think, the biggest problem with that game is that they installed a load of bots to take over the position of people.
Oh.
And I think it was becoming too prevalent or too powerful that these bots were jumping in all over the place, and that probably killed it a bit. Is there anything else I hit this week?
You finished the Uncharted game recently.
I did, Uncharted 1 and 2. I really enjoyed those games. I can't say the same about the multiplayer.
Yeah, the multiplayer is just an extra, to be honest. I found it fun. The one on... because the first one doesn't have any multiplayer. No, the multiplayer on Uncharted 2, you have to get used. It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
You have to get used to it, but I think it's funny because you have to think very vertically. You don't need to do this in most first-person shooters and third-person shooters. In Uncharted, you have to you can do stealth kills. You can just climb over a wall and get someone from behind and assassinate them.
Yeah, I tried that, but then in 4 out of 5 times when I just got up behind them, they just turned around and hit me with a shotgun. It wasn't quite fun.
The shotgun guys are fucking annoying.
Yeah, I think that ruined it a bit for me.
It's fucking annoying that I have an M4. I pop for fucking 4 shots in some cunt, and he still runs towards me and shoots me in the fucking face. That's not how the fucking world works.
It's true. I'm a handgun specialist. I like running around and killing people with handguns in shooter games.
I like being, stealthy and I like sniper gameplay a lot as well.
Yeah, that's me. It's the handgun sniper. That's up there. My 2 probably. Boom, headshot, motherfucker. You dare.
But what I found really satisfying, and it never gets old on Uncharted, when there's someone hanging on a ledge, and you're on top of that ledge, and they think they're going to grab you when you get close. Right? Because they can grab you and pull you off the ledge. And even if it's a small little ledge, you can still die.
Yeah, I see
Even if you wouldn't die if you just jumped down, you still die if someone yanks you off the ledge. And when they're just sitting there and waiting on the ledge, waiting for you to come close, and you just run to them and kick them in the face, and they fall off, that never gets old. That's fucking awesome.
It's the little things that keep you going.
Yeah. And I also found the Uncharted multiplayer. I love the multiplayer maps. They're beautiful because they're taken from the campaign.
Actually, yes, I agree. I did enjoy the map design. I played maybe 4 of the maps that were there, and it was quite fun. The maps are really nice. I just didn't find the actual gameplay that much fun. Just you spend ages lining up a shot, you shoot the guy, and then some other guy from your side, comes in with a shotgun. And you're like, what?
Yeah, and it's harder to shoot from a third-person perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, because when you're shooting from a first-person perspective, you have more control. You're basically closer to the target that you're trying to aim.
Yeah.
Because the camera on the third person is all the way back. It's no kills on 3, but it's good.
Yeah.
If there's if we have PlayStation 3 players listening to this, I really recommend PlayStation 3 because it's just as good or even better than Modern Warfare and Call of Duty. And the map packs are so much cheaper. You can buy map packs for €5 or $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy a $15 map pack every 3 months to be able to still play with your friends. So it's a cheaper solution and it's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, good.
On to other first-person shooters. I have gotten my hands on BioShock 2, and it was on an awesome sale for something like €5.
And I saw you didn't. I was online most of the day as well playing Mass Effect 2, and you didn't take a fucking break until you finished.
No, I completed it. Literally, I tried to do it in a day and a half. It took me, 12 hours total. So,
which already, is starting to confirm my theory that you're fucking half cyborg.
Yeah, 12 hours straight gaming just to get through the game. It was one of those games that I enjoyed and it captivated me from the start. I would like a lot of features to be improved in the game, like upgrades and things like that. Things that make you feel like you're working for it.
They did improve a lot of the gameplay aspects, don't you think?
They did, definitely, but not enough compared to the first one, in my opinion. It's like when you're running around saving all the girls, there's those little girls in it that you have to either rescue or harvest, and you get this atom material that gives you upgrade points. Now, there are that many upgrades available to you, and you've only so many slots you can put them in, that you're kind of going, why should I bother buying this upgrade if it's not that much of a use to me? Because I can't fit it in a slot that I need for some other upgrade, which is more powerful anyway. And it was the kind of annoying question that brings to that type of play.
But some people enjoy that, actually. They enjoy the tough decisions.
But that's the problem. I would enjoy it if it was a tough decision. It's not a tough decision. You can genuinely see what is good and what isn't, and that's the problem. It's like these other ones were just put there just for options, for additional options.
So it's basically suffers the World of Warcraft skill tree problem.
Yeah, more or less.
Where you just put all your talents where you have the most DPS.
Yes, yeah. And the other ones you just leave aside for now.
And if you don't know which tree that is, you can just download a spreadsheet and see which one it is.
That's it. That was it. Second issue I'd have would generally, but this is just a personal preference. In all first-person shooter games, I love to play, or at least have the role to play as a sniper type character.
Oh no, BioShock is much more of a up close and personal kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is. But that was the problem, and I really liked that aspect of it. So I decided, well, let's go for the up close and personal attitude. You know, you have a drill, and you can punch people or drill people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, while you're doing that, they will hit you once for half your HP. So it's the most unviable solution to use, and I couldn't make sense of it.
No, but there are some what are they called?
The tonics and stuff, the upgrades.
Yeah, the upgrades, the tonics.
Yeah.
They help you. Some of them help you to be a better melee fighter.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make you stand toe-to-toe with a lot of the characters, and that was a problem for me. I only used it in emergency, quite literally in an emergency. I would love to be able to run around drilling people and take the damage, but the thing is, you're that squashy. You come up to another, you're a big daddy. If you come up to another big daddy and try to play let's see who has a better, drill point, who's the larger drill here.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
I usually never take the melee route in first-person shooters anyway, because I prefer the shotgun or, something with fire, flamethrower.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah, but that was it. I really enjoyed the game overall. Don't get me wrong. It was just a few little tweaks that I think could have made it from a very, very good game to a really awesome game for me.
Too bad you have to to use Windows games for Windows Live. That's fucking annoying.
Yeah, there's a lot of games like that at the moment using that feature. I mean, even what's it called? Street Fighter. I like to play Street Fighter every now and again.
Does it require games for Windows?
It requires games for Windows Live. You can't
That's
play it without.
Bullshit. That's like playing a PlayStation 3 game and asking you to connect to Xbox Live.
Yeah, that's it. It's a bit, daunting. But this is just the way it is at the moment. Everyone's trying to go anti-copyright and stuff like that.
That's not anti-copyright because the game is already on Steam and Steam is already a DRM thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but even though it still requires a Windows Live account.
It's retarded.
To state you on the game. It's a pain in the arse, alright.
I bet I'm not going to be able to buy Mass Effect 3 on Steam just because those fucking cunts are going to put it on Origin.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they will offer the option to.
You think? I mean, take a look. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was on Steam.
Yeah.
Battlefield 3, Origin exclusive. You even have to have Origin installed if you buy the game on retail.
Yeah, the thing I don't like, and I know EA are doing this anyway, is the fact that it can read your computer. And it's part of the agreement, and that's terrible. It should not be allowed to do that. And you're preventing people from getting games on the basis that you're allowing them to see what your computer specs are. And I don't care what people might say when it comes to, oh, but it's just your computer specs. No, the fact that you're giving them access to information on your computer is enough of a problem for me.
Yeah, I don't want fucking EA to look at my midget porn. That's not fucking
that's
acceptable.
Exactly it. Think of the folders.
No, but there's a few companies that signed up for using EA service now. I mean, THQ is going to use it.
Yeah.
Capcom.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? THQ, Capcom, and some other one that I can't remember, but a big one as well.
Yeah, so they're actually following. Yeah.
So the next Street Fighter game is probably going to need Steam, Origin, and games for Windows Live to be able to run.
With 7 different passwords, just to be safe. Oh, God. Yeah, what's it coming to?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What they just need to do is they'll eventually, come just a thumb scanner on your PC, and that's it. You can play your game. It's mine. But I suppose this is what Steam fixed. I mean, Steam has this alone. If you buy the game from Steam, it's going to be locked to your account anyway. You can't purchase it. You can't pirate it from Steam or anything else. You have it. You know you have.
tool. It is.
It is the DRM, but it's a working one. I don't see.
And it gives stuff that back to you. It gives you stats, achievements. It gives you a friends list. It gives you screenshots.
And on top of things, it gives you games for really cheap prices.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. I mean, I bought Mass Effect 1 for €3.50, and it's the best €3.50 that I've spent in my life.
Yeah.
And I bought Mass Effect 2 for €6.50.
And it was the next €6.50 you spent.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just it. Sure, we'll see how it goes. I mean, eventually I'm just going to have to get Origins. I mean, I really, really want to play Star Wars. I am looking forward to Star Wars. And I feel that for me to fulfill that desire, I'm just going to have to just go with the Origins, unfortunately.
You know what? I'm over Star Wars. I loved Star Wars. You know, I grew up with Star Wars. I still like watching the movies, but I had enough.
You've had enough.
Especially since, you know, George Lucas is going apeshit and ruining the movie.
I think the poor guy has actually just lost his marbles, to be honest, and he's like, let's do this.
You think he's insane, like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he's just gotten a bit too old, and, you know, things are kicking in. I mean, the guy, he doesn't need more money. He's doing it just for the lols at this point.
Yeah, you see, the ironic thing is that I read something that he wrote on his youth before he was famous, you know, when he was just a small-time director.
Yeah.
And this is what he said, and I quote, "It's barbaric to change a work of art."
Yeah. Oh, go figure. Jesus. But yeah, I don't know why he's destroying it. Like I said, I just think he's gone a bit, you know, power mad.
Yeah.
A bit crazy.
And the sad thing is that it's going to ruin this DVD, these Blu-rays. You've seen the
I've seen some of the stuff on it is hilarious from what I've seen so far. What do you mean, this guy? He didn't shoot first, for God's sake.
Yeah, but that's an old story. The new one is the fact that, you know, when Darth Vader sees his son getting killed by the Emperor, he goes like, "No!"
Yeah.
That scene was so fucking powerful with him being silent and just looking and observing. You didn't hear anything, but you could feel the turmoil inside of him. And now it feels like a fucking character from Twilight.
Dracula. No! How could you do this?
Some people just, you know, they can't leave shit alone.
No, that's it.
It's like me when I used to paint. I never was happy with my paintings, and then I would try to do something else, and then I would just ruin it, and then I would throw the painting away.
Oh, well, that comes with artistry. I've never met an artist who doesn't do that. Seriously, I've worked with some people in the past with art and stuff like that, and, you know, they'd give you a character design, and then they would turn around and go, you could say, "It's absolutely brilliant," and they go, "No, I'm taking it back. I don't like it anymore." You must have something else.
It's hard to be. I was never 100% happy with anything I've done.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when we recorded our first fucking podcast? I wanted to take it away.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I have the power.
Have you seen the gameplay footage of BioShock Infinite?
No, I have not yet. I haven't done any research.
It's been out for a while, and the moment you see there's a...
Oh, wait. This is the one that's in the sky.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
There's a 10-minute gameplay trailer that when you see it, your balls will drop.
Yeah, no, I did. I was really impressed by it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, actually. I did see the trailer of it, and it was out quite a while ago.
BioShock Infinite looks so good.
It does. When is that due to release?
Q1 2012, I think.
All right, interesting. So
I just hope they don't release it in the same week as Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that'll be a bad move by them.
But the games industry seems to be having, like, you know, a laugh at releasing the same, you know, similar games at the same time. Yeah. Like these big fucking names all at the same time. And I think, you know, probably March 2012, we're going to see... We already know Mass Effect 3 is scheduled for March 2012. Mm-hmm. BioShock Infinite is probably going to hit around the same date. And who knows, probably even Darksiders 2. So if that happens, I'm just going to take a gun and shoot myself.
No, I think in general now it'll come down to your personal preference. I don't think any game is going to win over Mass Effect 3 for me. I'll gladly wait the extra month to play Bioshock or the extra month to play, what was the other one, Painkiller, I think.
Because, but for me this is a really huge fucking problem, because in this generation I said this to you before, I have 3 franchises this generation that I love. Basically my favorite new franchises of this generation are Mass Effect, Bioshock, and Darksiders. And all these games are scheduled to come out quarterly.
But you have to think about it. You have Skyrim as well. So.
Yeah, but Skyrim's coming out this year, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's next week, actually. Woohoo, bring it. Bring it, baby.
You know what's the good thing about Skyrim? Is that you can play a vampire, orc, gay wizard and still feel totally badass. That's going to be it for
That is probably one of the most unique explanations I've heard of the game ever. There you go. Play a unique orc, gay, vampire.
Wizard.
Yeah. And still be badass.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just so glad that I'm not into military shooters, because then it would be like Modern Warfare and Battlefield as well for me to worry about. I mean, Battlefield just came out, and I honestly couldn't give a smaller fuck or bigger fuck. I don't know.
I've been watching a lot of Battlefield information, as well as trailers and people uploading videos and stuff like that. And I have to admit, I am quite interested. My only problem right now is the fact I don't think my machine can handle it.
Your machine can handle it.
Nah. The Battlefield is going to kick off with, I could play it on medium to low graphics, but it just wouldn't be as enjoyable.
Yeah, for that you just get a fucking console and play it on a console.
Yeah, exactly. I just say, what's the point in having a powerful PC?
If I played Battlefield, I would do it on the PC, because then you have the 64-player battles, and on the console you don't.
Why? What are they limited on console?
I think it's 32-player.
Well, it's still quite big. I mean,
not for a Battlefield game. Not after you played Battlefield Bad Company 2 and on 64-player maps. It's Battlefield needs those people to make the game.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose when you're thinking of it, yeah, it's actually 16 aside.
And this is another reason I think I'm willing to wager Modern Warfare is still going to be on top for a while, because they focus their gameplay on small deathmatch. A small group of people, and consoles can do this just as well as PCs nowadays. Yeah. A small group of people. You don't need 64-player battles on Modern Warfare to enjoy the game, because the gameplay itself lends itself better for a small type of deathmatch instead. So my wager is that the new Modern Warfare games are gonna sell even more than before, and all that shit that EA was like bragging that that Battlefield 3 was gonna be a huge contender to the throne. It's not really gonna people are playing Battlefield 3 right now. But when Modern Warfare 3 comes out, they're going to trade in their fucking Battlefield 3 so they can get store credit and buy Modern Warfare.
Yeah. We'll see. There's a lot of videos and stuff going up, and I have to keep an eye on it. Now, I did watch more videos of Battlefield than I have of Modern Warfare, so I'm probably a bit biased at this point. But I'll have to check up more on Modern Warfare 3, see if it's worth.
I just can't get into the genre. I mean.
The general military shooter thing, like COD and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can get it if it has an interesting setting and interesting factions. Just playing generic soldier versus generic terrorist doesn't cut it for me anymore. Not ever since I stabbed the fucking knife in a Helghast eye on Killzone 3. It doesn't cut it anymore. And even, the military thing, it doesn't cut it anymore. Not ever since I played Bulletstorm and I could, tell a guy the fucking sniper bullet into an enemy's rear end.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Suddenly, headshots aren't that fun anymore.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I don't know. Like I said, it appeals to certain gamers. Now, I'm much more broad and casual. I like mixing games, so I wouldn't be hardcore into any of them. Not anymore, anyway. I spent many years.
I get into bursts of being hardcore in Qzone, and then I go back to, not playing it for a while, and then I have another burst of, 4 or 5 days where I just play the fucking game over and over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's a signification of a good game, in my opinion.
Yeah. It has the Team Fortress 2 effect for me, but really fucking amplified. Because Team Fortress, I can leave it alone for a week, and then play it for 2 hours, and then leave it alone for another week, and then play it for another 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Qzone, I can leave it alone for a week, play it for 5 or 6 days, or basically a fucking week, and then leave it alone for another week.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
That's just how the game is.
It's really good. Now that you have a PlayStation 3, you should really get it.
Yeah, definitely. It's on my to-buy list as soon as I can afford. I mean, there's a lot of games at the moment. I managed to spend a tenner on Steam and get 4 games, which is amazing, so I still have to get through those, and then we shall see.
Right now in Sweden, this is a good thing, actually. If you wait a little bit, you can get games really cheap. Let me just check something. Qzone 3. Right now, you could get the Hellgast edition, which is the edition that has the Hellgast helmet, for 450 krona, which is for 44 euros.
Yeah, okay, it's about the same price anywhere else. Then.
No, it's not. It's really fucking cheap.
Well, 40 euros.
40 euros for the Hellgast edition, it's basically the collector's edition.
Yeah, but how long is it out now?
It's been out since March.
That's what I mean. So I'd be very surprised if they're still charging full price for that.
Yeah, if you go to GameStop, it would probably still charge you full price for the normal edition. No, but
I think that'll just come down to where you buy it. I know there'll be a few shops around that you can get it for quarter the price now after 6-month period. I'm
planning on getting the Deus Ex when it lowers a little bit more on price as well. Human Revolution. Yeah.
I'm actually still open arms about trying the DLC content. I haven't done any research on it, but it's a tenner for it, and I'm wondering if it's worth it yet. Because I love that game. I had a great time in Deus Ex.
Well, how many times did you play it through?
Twice so far. One as the stealth, the other as a badass. Third time I want to play it through, which will be trying to do the achievement where you cannot actually be seen in the entire game except by bosses.
Oh, I've done that in high school.
Yeah. Teachers being the bosses.
I was completely invisible there.
Anyway, we are coming up to our hour mark, so we're going to keep it at that point for the time being anyway. So
yeah. I think this was a good one.
Yeah, it was nice. We covered a few topics as usual.
Yeah.
We'll keep it up.
We didn't
let
talk
you guys
about the other stuff that we wanted to talk about, but we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah, absolutely. Topics and topics. Games and games.
Yeah.
More games and more games.
We just talk about games and interesting stuff. Movies.
And movies. Games and movies.
Oh, I hope that Jurassic Park game is good. I love Jurassic.
Oh, they're bringing out a Jurassic Park game?
Yeah, from Telltale Games.
When is that due to release?
I don't know. I just saw a trailer of it the other day. I can link you after the podcast.
Yeah, sure. Wouldn't mind having a quick look.
Yeah.
The last Jurassic Park game I played was on the Mega Drive.
No, but this is not like that. It takes place. It's a group of people that are in the island during the events of Jurassic Park 1.
Yeah.
And, remember the fat guy that got killed by that little cute dinosaur, and he had that can with the frozen embryos?
Yeah.
It's a story related to what happens to those frozen embryos.
Oh, right, and you're following through.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if they made it any way worthwhile.
Okay, and we're going to end up today with me making my singing the Jurassic Park theme, okay? You can take us out.
Good night, Internet. That is just for today. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.